If we're ready, we will call to order the, hold on, I still have a special meeting in front of me. The regular agenda meeting. Shannon, can I have a roll call, please? Here. We will jump right to the administrator and staff consultant updates. Jim, your mic.
Just a couple of things. In front of you, we did get the narrowed down the camera selection. I mean, it's still a council decision as to what you want, but we, rather than, what did the mayor went through, and I think I'd said there were 6. It was more like 12 different variations. It was way too much, but we kind of have a preferred one that you can talk about, or if you want us to go back to whatever the council wants us to do. We did not receive any information from Mesabi Bituminous, and you'll recall my email where we were told that they would be paving at the end of this week. And if you were paying any attention, they were paving on Friday and Saturday. I'm guessing that we probably won't get a proposal, although there has been some conversation about whether those repairs could be done, and Matt can talk about this in a minute, could be done in the spring when they come and do the finish, the other layers. So there are options, but we were a little disappointed that we didn't get any kind of response from them. So my recommendation, it's up to the council, is when you approve the agenda for the regular meeting, you pull that item, because there's no point in having much discussion because we don't have much for you. And I wanted the council to be aware that I've been in contact with East Mesabi Sanitation about our beloved trailer on North Railroad Avenue that had the fire a number of years ago. There's a couple of dumpsters there that apparently have been filled up. We don't know by who, whether it's the property owner or someone else, but we're going to have those hauled out of there. And if there's a good way to recover those costs through some sort of assessment, we'll figure that out. But one of them apparently is filled with tires, which creates a complication in terms of disposing. And so I just looked at having East Mesabi, because with their existing trucks, it would be easy for them to move the dumpsters that are sitting up there. It's the very north end of Railroad. I guess it's Railroad Avenue, not Railroad Drive.
One this way. There's that trailer that's burnt out there. Yeah, there's 2 dumpsters that were put there 4 or 5 years ago from Gilbert. Just north of there, yeah.
A little further, almost at 4th Street.
Yeah, there's John and Martha, and it's the next property down. And those dumpsters were put there, I don't know, in an effort to abate that never happened, or they belong to Gilbert, the dumpsters do. Yeah.
We were going to do, as I recall, and please grain of salt with my memory, there was a lot of junk in the yard, and the grass was getting so long we wanted to mow, but we needed to remove all that junk, and I'm not sure exactly what got done or didn't get done, but it's been a fly in my ointment for a long time. I know for others too. So I have reached out to East Mesabi, and they're willing to do it at I think it's a fairly reasonable price. So you'll hear more about that as that progresses.
I think it was only a couple $100. So.
Yeah, it was pretty reasonable, especially with the tires. I trying to deal with discarded tires is kind of a pain in the butt these days with the ecological rules. So having a professional service remove those would be wonderful. So those are things that are kind of working on right now that aren't on the agenda tonight. So stay tuned for more on those. and then I can answer any questions, and I don't know if Matt's got anything for you for this evening as well.
Why don't we jump into Matt's if there's any, then we can get to council questions. You don't have anything? Perfect, that's easy enough. Chief?
I'll apologize for no consent agenda report. I worked roughly the bottom of the tax last week.
Thank you. If you want to jump backwards real quick, this is the dumpsters we're talking about. Now in the Google map version, there's John and Martha's right up there. And there's our lovely burned out trailer.
We have been told that the owner of the property is interested in selling. I think he might have a seller on the line. Obviously, that's for the real estate. Anybody dumb enough to pay money for the trailer, that's on them, but.
It's not even worth it in scrap.
I think he's behind on his tax.
Apparently, he's working out some sort of, there's a program where they can work out a plan with the county.
Yeah, he does have a payment plan. I think it's his mother's name, if I remember right.
I was late. I was at Jimmy Packard first.
Oh.
I didn't show up later, but
So, not your fault. All right.
We're not recording this, are we?
We are. All right, we will move on to, where is my agenda? There we go. Council questions. Councilor Berg. Councilor Lemon. Councilor Nemi. Holy moly. Councilor Waller.
I have a question for Matt.
Microphone.
When you came up with
Microphone.
this- Oh, I thought you turned them all on.
I did, but I muted him.
So when you came up with this estimate for the City Hall building improvements, is this from when you did the feasibility study?
Good evening.
Good evening. You looked really confused.
It was as part of that feasibility report, yes, and we went through and broke out just those different items and categorized them and made sure they were in a format that we could use for the grant. So yeah, short answer is yes.
Okay.
I do have, part of my discussion on that is, I was discussing the Public Works grant system with IRRR staff, and I had mentioned some of the struggles that we've got going on, and I said we've had a hard time applying with finding matching funds and everything else. I said, don't even know where to start. And I was encouraged by agency staff to start with this Public Works grant program. SEH, Matt and Brian, through kind of after one of our meetings the other day, said, we'll be happy to help you guys get that filled out. Look for some matching funds as well. And I did speak with IRRR staff about getting that onto the December IRRR meeting. It will not go on to September's, which I believe is the 25th or something like that, is where the first round is going out. There is always a possibility that all the funds will be exhausted, but it's highly unlikely with the Public Works grant process because that's such a highly funded program. So in order to be competitive, it was, can't approve it tonight and get it on their agenda by the end of the week. It wouldn't be, feasible, so.
Well, and I'm happy to see that we're using the feasibility study because there was a lot of negative comments about us contracting with you to do it. So I'm glad to see it being put into use. That's all I had for Matt. I do have some other things here. Okay, according to the PUC minutes, we can talk about this stuff now, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. According to the PUC minutes, they plan to pass on a couple of increases to their customers, $3 for the meter starting our next bill, and then in January it'll be like $6. And I'm just wondering if the city notifies the citizens that their bills are going to be going up.
If there's a rate increase, there has to be a public hearing.
Oh,
These are this is for the meter fee.
Oh,
There-
I'm not sure. I know the $6 one is being put on us by the state, so it's not something we're setting. That's just something that we're doing as a council, but I guess I'm not sure about the meter.
okay, because that's what I was just thinking, there should maybe be a little blurb on the end, the bottom of our utility bills or something, so people aren't just all of a sudden like getting mad at us about it because we didn't let anybody know. And then on the budget here, it's still saying under the expenditure summary that we're $471,539.41 in the negative. And this has been on there for a while, and I thought it was the FEMA funds that we were supposed to be reimbursed. So it's under the general capital projects. And we've been carrying this for months.
I'll have to pull it to see exactly what that is, but obviously if there was an expense in the capital project, like you're not gonna see the revenue on this side. You see it down there. And when we got the FEMA reimbursement, that would have used the public utility.
But would it still show up on our capital improvement project? Because there was only 48,478 budgeted, it looked like, or year-to-date it says. So I'm just,
I'll have to pull that,
okay.
what all of that is. Feeling on my expense for 401. Because it doesn't actually look like we budgeted anything for 401.
Okay, thank you for checking into that. And then in the check summary register, there was an ad put in for the 4th of July for $717.75, put into these strange times. Now, doesn't the BACA usually cover that ad because it's a BACA event?
BACA did not put that ad in. When that bill came in, I routed it to Kim Berg, and Kim Berg said we never put this in. We didn't do it. So we looked back into it, and Jeff put it in the paper. So
And that's not even our paper. That's
Nope.
not
I
our designated
was
city.
just as confused as you were, but
Okay. Yeah, because I've never seen a BACA event ad that the city
Nope.
paid for.
it was not. I went back in the outgoing emails. This is in between when we had nobody in that office, and I went back in the outgoing emails, and Jeff had sent a picture of the flyer to the Mesaba Daily News. So,
Or to the East Range Shopper.
yeah, Eastern Shopper, I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's to both. There was one for the Mesaba Daily as well. I think it was last month's billing.
Oh, wow.
So, and we don't know why.
All right, well, thank you. I'm glad you had the answer for that. All right, and then my next one is the work order report from Public Works, and I am at my wit's end about this. For the whole month of August, they have 10 hours logged. So this is 4 staff and 3 summer workers. And I know this program, this is an excellent program, and I don't know why it's not being instituted the way it should be instituted. Honestly, when I've been doing the work around the city here, working on the flower beds and working down at Public Works, kind of going in and out to get things, every time I go in there, Lauren is in his office on his tablet. And I assumed he was logging hours for jobs that they've been completing, but obviously that is not happening. And this program can give each individual worker their own calendar. So if they each set up their own calendar, then we can see who's doing what work each day. And I'm just wondering, do they need more training? I think this is something that, I don't know if the council is aware of this, I think some of the counselors are aware of this, and I don't like to talk about this in public, but it's getting out of hand, I think, because we're paying for this software, and it's good software, and it needs to be used the way that it's intended to be used. And if we need to do more training on it, then I think we need to start doing that. And I don't know if anybody else has a comment on that or not.
I'll comment, but I gotta be very careful. I agree with you. And that's really all I'm gonna say. I am frustrated and, I can't say any more than that. Okay?
Okay.
I will add that we've had multiple discussions. We only currently have a 32-hour-a-week interim administrator, and spending time to train the administrator on administering that part of the software. Now, granted, the permit and code enforcement part of it has been worth its weight in gold and then some. But I will say that I'm not allowed to handle administrative tasks, as is nobody else at this table, so we've just kind of let it, it's going to be part of the turnover that this has to be, implemented. There is excuse me, there is a bit of, there's a bit of discrepancy with the hours from what that report is showing, because there are some things that are closed, such as like cemetery mowing, things like that. It is tracked for the season. So at the end of the season, when that goes into a finished status, it should be on there. But, that's the best I can. There's definitely was a lack of training. There was a lack of implementation, which we are going to work through. But I don't know that 32 hours a week for an administrator and spending time training, it will be brought up at tomorrow morning's staff meeting.
Because, yeah, there's a lot of, jobs on here that are finished, but there's no hours assigned to them. So I guess, the other people in the town see this too. And I'm
Absolutely.
sure they're just kind of like, okay. And then my last thing is, at our last council meeting, we had instructed the planning and zoning to start rezoning the school property. Well, P&Z did not get that message for some reason. So I don't know, so they did not start working on it at their meeting. I was not feeling well, so I wasn't at their meeting Thursday night. But is this something the council wants them to work on? Because they got the message that the council did not want them to work on it.
So I got a text message from Mr. Setniker with the P&Z, and he said P&Z was asked to rezone the school sites, which is not 100% accurate. They asked us to direct them. But he said prior to the county auction listing of 5 parcels, each having its own estimated market value. Prior, Jeff indicated the county wanted the land to be sold as 1 parcel. Now that's changed, and that's the reason we have not called a special public or a PZ meeting for rezoning. And I agreed. I said it's not worth it at this time, and he agreed. It's already in the listing as being zoned for that, so changing in the middle of an auction would actually be silly, so the P&Z just decided, as far as I know. Is that accurate, Mary?
In some ways, yes.
That was the only communication I had on the whole thing, so.
In some ways, it was.
Sorry.
It was moved.
It does.
Okay, I guess I'm just wondering, do we want them to move forward or don't we?
At this point in time, it's not even worth taking the time to do it because it's an auction right now. So when the auction's over and if somebody purchases it, then at that point in time, it would make sense to, zone it accordingly, so.
Okay, I guess I just think that the council should be aware of that, that we should all be on the same page as far as that goes, so, because I did not get that information from anybody until after the P&Z meeting.
Yeah, I got that text from Mr. Setniker, a day or two before the meeting, and I just said, oh, I agree, whatever. So I let P&Z do their thing. I don't.
Okay, thank you, that's
Yep.
all I have.
Okay, I touched on the Public Works grant. I just wanted to mention too on the agenda, there is the resolution and memorandum of understanding for the North Shore Development Company that is funded by the Northland Foundation. that comes at the request of the East Range Joint Powers Board. It's no cost to the city, and that technical assistance can help in any housing discussion. It was going to be an East Range Joint Powers collaborative. However, Aurora just did their own thing, and once they had already entered that in, they couldn't enter in twice. So we were encouraged through the North group to do our own, as well as Hoyt Lakes and Town of White. So one more thing on the upcoming agenda, I'm going to propose that we bump the nuisance hearing to potentially after old business. Chief Teacher's been handling the nuisances right now, and he is on his way back to town, and he said he'd probably be here at 6:10-ish, but I figured to keep things flowing, we would just move right on past it and come back to it. And then to touch more on Administrator Wykeham's point on item 12I, which we will be striking from the agenda, the road surface repairs, we did get multiple complaints just north of John's house there, kitty corner from Bob's place. Like as the administrator mentioned, we tried to get in to save those mobilization fees, as they weren't supposed to pave until the end of this week. And then here they were paving Friday and Saturday, so that and I saw the paver loaded up today, so I'm guessing it's out of here now. That'll probably, from a cost point, probably make sense to wait till spring, because, to mobilize that for a 90-foot chunk of road. So just so we know that that's on the radar, and we'll make sure that we get, a little more detail on that, because we do have to replace about 8 inches of gravel on there too. So that was all I had for comments on the agenda. I will touch base on the camera proposal too. In your packets that we added on, the Verkada cameras, there was 12 different proposals. There was an array of data retention for, whether it keeps the data for 60 days, 30 days, and there was 3, 5, and 10-year licensing options. The 10-year being obviously the most economical, and it also avoids needing to budget for it for 10 more years. And that was and talking with Chief Teacher about it, he was, he had been cycling through all the different proposals as well. And Verkada is the same that Gilbert uses, has a very good working, I don't know if White Lakes has that or not, but I think they're talking about it if not, just so everybody's kind of on the same page in this end of the range. But they work great, everything's good. But a bullet camera, shoots in one direction and zooms in and out. The PTZ, which I couldn't tell you, point zoom, I have no clue what it stands for. I can't remember from the conversation. But you can control them and move them, and it'll pick up movement, track over, and zoom. One of those at the pavilion, would probably be the recommendation from the chief. But after talking, you can buy 3 bullet cameras and put them on the same pole for the price of 1 PTZ. So looking through those proposals, there's 3 bullet cameras, 1 for each end of town, one that can be moved from, I say the campground, but it's technically the boat landing and new bathroom building. And then we can move that in the winter time, unless we want to leave it there, but we have the ability to move it to a different pole. And I believe that the quotes ranged anywhere from 32,000 to 56,000, and the one that was with the 30-day retention data from Chief Teacher was the 44,885, I believe. Does that sound right? So I just wanted to give the background information on that. So cellular. Yeah. Yes, electric power. They put a box with it then they pull power off the pole. So there's some logistics that has to go into all of it, but that's just the proposal. Absolutely.
September, I was wondering if the budget committee is going to have something for us in October.
I believe the intention is to have the budget, I know staff is currently working through it, but I believe during the, if you look on the agenda, we're going to be scheduling the work session for the emergency services building, and I know in the interest of everybody agreeing on one thing, that the less meetings we have, the better, that'll be tacked onto that meeting as well, so.
And the budget will go out in advance, probably in the next week to 10 days. Yeah, and there's still some numbers we're missing, but we're going to make sure that you have something in advance, because the deadline's coming soon. And the budget committee gave us some good direction. We're just assembling all the pieces.
I will add one thing to the emergency services building. Matt Reed and Brian Bergstrom with SEH, Chief Mackey, EMS Director Larson, myself, Administrator Wycombe, have had a couple of meetings. We got a kind of a difference in feedback and whatnot from that, and plus a couple of different options. And it was kind of decided that, hey, let's pump the brakes on this. This is a big decision, and it was, I felt the full council should be in on those discussions with the engineering firm for that. So that was why that's on there. Okay, if there's no other questions, I need a motion to adjourn the regular agenda meeting. Motion and second to adjourn. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. And the agenda meeting is adjourned. Huh?
3 minutes.
Oof. Well, better than the 1 minute last time. We were getting too much feedback. No. All right, it is. I will call the regular city council meeting, City of Biwabik, to order. Shannon, can I have a roll call, please?
Here.
Here. If you're able, please stand, follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Item 4, agenda approval. I see Chief Teacher made it, so there's no need to readjust the nuisance hearing. it has been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5, mayoral proclamation. This was sent to us on rail safety, and I felt since we were one of the 2 rail-served towns, it was worthy of a proclamation to their request. So the National Sea Tracks Think Train Week, whereas Sea Tracks Think Train Week is to be held across the U.S. from September 15th to 21st, 2025, whereas 2,252 rail grade crossing collisions resulted in 749 personal injuries and were responsible for 268 fatalities in the United States during 2024, and whereas 1,465 pedestrian trespassing casualties have occurred in the United States, resulting in 821 pedestrians being killed, another 644 injured while trespassing on railroad property right-of-ways during 2024, and whereas educating and informing the public about rail safety, reminding the public that railroad right-of-ways are private property, enhancing public awareness of the dangers associated with highway rail grade crossings, ensuring pedestrian and motorists are looking and listening while near railways, and obeying established traffic laws, will reduce the number of avoidable fatalities and injuries caused by incidents involving trains and citizens. And whereas the International Association of Chiefs of Police, National Operation Lifesaver Incorporated, the United States Department of Transportation, and all local, state, and county and railroad law enforcement officers, first responders, and the railroad corporations commit to partnering together in an effort to educate a national level all aspects of railroad safety, to enforce applicable laws and support the National Sea Tracks Think Train Week. Therefore, I, Steve Bionich, Mayor, do hereby attest my full support proclaiming September 15th to 21st the National Sea Tracks Think Train Week, and I encourage all citizens to recognize the importance of rail safety education. Adopted this day, 8th of September, 2025. Okay, moving on. There was no consent agenda items pulled, so I will adjourn the regular, oh, I'm sorry, we need to approve the consent agenda. My apologies. Oh.
We need to pull
Poll 12. Aye.
Oh, and we need to, that was under new business. I'm sorry, I forgot about that.
So moved.
Is there a support to pull?
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Motion and second to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I will adjourn the regular meeting and hit item 8, nuisance hearing at 18:04. Nuisance hearing, item number 1, 6208 Depot Load Location Road abatement status. Administrator Wycombe? Microphone.
I think you have pictures in front of you. There is definitely progress being made. And I think the property owner might be here, but we just wanted to give you the latest. I think the chief took the pictures, so he might have probably the most recent status. What was your perception, chief?
And technically, these have already been acted upon. And I was just saying how in the future we will put updates under old business versus in the hearing. But if there's any comments from the property owners, I would welcome you to come to the podium and offer any comments. Just click the square button there from the bottom if you would. Perfect, thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm representing my mother, the Frank Licari property, and the items that were on there, that were put there by the neighbor, they're making a lot of progress on moving it off. I'm still waiting for a scrap dealer to contact me back. He'll come in and take out that pickup, and then some of the other scrap that's in there. There's been, I think, two or three of the boats have been removed, so that's a lot of progress there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So will we get an update next month also?
Yes, I would assume so.
Okay.
If that's what the council wants, yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to continue with the updates.
And I agree with Patty on that. And we're talking about this one?
We're talking,
I-
currently, we're talking about both 6206 and 6208.
Okay, so they're together, okay.
They're abutting,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
6206, I believe the council carried that over last month because Mr. Licari was here and progress was being made. 6208, you did direct abatement, and I'll be very candid. I've been trying to buy time to allow the property owner to, because all the reports are that it's, as the chief said, progress is being made. So technically, I haven't proceeded with abatement, just waiting to see if progress continues.
And I've personally driven by a couple times, and I would agree with the chief. It does definitely much improvement. So thanks for the update.
So do we need a motion?
No, it's just
We'd
an
like to
update.
follow
There's-
through for next.
It's already been acted upon. So, and the same for number 3, 201 Main Street was also just a status. So.
After the last meeting, I did reach out to those property owners. No matter what the outcome of the direction of the council was, I let each one of them know. I think that came up during the council meeting. Let them know that one of them was dismissed, and so I let them know that. And I did contact the other property owners. And I readily admit I was moving slow to allow the owners to try and do the work themselves so we could save some funds on part of the city. I don't know that anything, the chief probably has a better report, but I'm not sure that at 201 Main Street much has changed since the last report. So the directive I have is to proceed with abatement unless I hear something different tonight.
Were you able to talk with the person at 201 Main Street?
I did not get I did send a letter, but I did not get any kind of response.
Okay. Then I guess we did extend it 30 days, so we had 30 days to remove the building materials, and they're still there, so I guess then it is to go ahead with abatement.
That was already, yep. So those are all 3 just updates. All right, we'll move on to item 4, 101 2nd Avenue South. Is there anybody from 101 2nd Avenue South here? There is not. Council, as you can see, the letter went out, and there's little to no change. This is a frequent flyer, for lack of a better term. I do believe last time we abated this, there was law enforcement on standby as well.
I'll make a motion to move forward with abatement.
Been moved and seconded to abate the property at 101 2nd Avenue South. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. And then 102 Main Street. Another one we've had some issues on here. Is anybody here from 102 Main Street? There is not. It's hard to tell in the picture, but it does look like there was somewhat of improvement. Chief Teacher, can you offer anything on that?
The main issue for that on the vehicle, if you run to the back,
didn't flip it over to see that part, so you're, yeah.
So is there still like a bunch of trash there? There used to be like a lot of trash.
Council, your wishes.
I got a question. What's all that stuff in front of the car next to the house?
Ironically, that's a lot of actual, carpentry.
So at this point, the concern is the vehicles. Council?
So have you been able to talk to this person?
No.
Okay.
We talked, we've been talking about getting out,
Well, and I was wondering, like, the machinery, is it machinery that is broken, or is it machinery that's used? It works. So he would just have to buy plates for the truck?
they've had the opportunity to, but they're not, so, and they were not buying that. Technically.
So with the information presented, I think the vehicle is probably the only thing we can.
It's a pretty easy.
Council?
Oh, I'd say go after the vehicle. That's really,
Is that a motion?
yes, sorry.
Motion to abate the vehicle?
Yes.
Is there a second?
Support.
It has been moved and seconded to abate the non-running vehicle at 102 Main Street. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I will close the nuisance hearing at 18:14 and reopen the regular council meeting. Presentations, we have none. Mayor and council member reports. Councilor Burke.
I just have two things. Wishing our attorney Larry a speedy recovery from his hospital stay here. And I spent a lot of time on First and Fifth Avenue. You people that live there have gone through a lot of heck this summer, but it's going to be well worth it. But boy, I don't know how you survived. But it's looking great.
Danny, all I can say is I kept saying for 2 weeks, I'll be glad when it's done. I'll be glad
Yes,
when it's
but-
done. So thank
But boy,
you.
that's been, those people that live there, I haven't heard any complaints, but it has to have been tough. But
Yeah,
it sure
it-
looks good.
Yeah, it does, so thank you.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's, touch on Danny's point, First and Fifth are looking really nice. It'll be nice when they're done. And that's all I got.
Councilor Nemi.
I just added to Danny's comment, so.
No. Councilor Waller.
Okay, I just want to remind everybody about Oktoberfest. September 26th is the ball. What do they call the
The
ball?
Festmeister's Ball.
Festmeister's Ball. And the 27th is all the games, almost all of the games are free in the park, and they're from preschool kids up to adults. So I hope we have a good turnout. If there's rain, we have tents. So I just want everybody to know that. I do have a question because we had talked about looking at a health insurance policy that's a less costly plan. Has the personnel committee looked into that at all?
The only thing we were working with Jeff on it, that when he left, and at that point in time, there hadn't been anything any less expensive for anywhere else. So, and compared it to some other cities' plans, and as of right now, we're getting a pretty decent deal. But I know, excuse me, I forgot my inhaler tonight. Shannon and I have talked a bit about it, and we're still kind of diving into that a bit.
Okay, because I did pass on an insurance broker's name to Kathy, and I didn't know if anybody had contacted him or not. He's licensed for Minnesota and Wisconsin,
Yeah,
so.
just so you know, I did contact.
You did contact
I
him?
did not.
Oh, you did not contact him, okay. So I mean, it doesn't hurt to look.
Right.
No, and
No.
if I remember, and Steve, the person, I think I'm okay here, is that we're kind of waiting for the new city administrator.
Yeah,
And so some things are kind of on the curve because we're waiting for a new city administrator, not putting it on Jim.
and usually it does, in November is usually when I think you re-up your plans, so. Okay, and then this has been going on, I brought this up at last November, 2024. I brought it up to the council about a problem we have on First Avenue North. There's a person that lives up there that put up a rope fence on city property. He's done it twice now this summer. The first time Public Works took it down. Now I put it back up the second time. So I did put in a work order for Public Works to take it down, and I said, take the poles and the rope with you. So he quits putting it up. It's on city property. He's abandoning his property on city property. And this person is also digging up across the road from his house, which is not his property. We don't know if it's city property or state property, but he's dug down like 6 inches. It's probably 5 feet wide by 10 feet long, and he keeps going farther north with it. And he's causing the road to crumble because there's no shoulder to hold the new asphalt up. And I have talked to the chief, and I guess I would like the council to direct the police to ask him to move his vehicle off of that area, and Public Works could reestablish the shoulder. He's got 2 piles of dirt dug up there, and I don't know if anybody has driven by there or walked by there, but every day a little bit more of our road is getting eaten away.
So I'll comment on that. We've had professional engineering statements prepared on that. He did spend a night in jail over it. This week he was arrested for that. So to say there's been no action on it would be a horribly inaccurate statement.
Okay, I didn't say there hasn't been any
So
action.
it's
but-
all of that is being currently worked on.
But my understanding is that they were looking at his yard, not across the road. Because, I mean, it's not his property. Why would we allow him to be digging up property that's not his and it's damaging the city road? I mean, why not just ask him to move his vehicle and have Public Works reestablish the road the way it should be?
I think that's all in the works currently. Is that-
Yeah, that was my understanding.
That's my
I don't-
understanding. It's
When I talked to the chief, it didn't sound like it's in the works.
So we made the arrest last week for criminal damage, felony criminal damage to property.
I guess my point is, it's not his property, and he is damaging the road, so why would we continue to let him do that? Because this week, he's dug up at least another 2 feet. You know, he keeps going farther and farther north every week. Yeah, it looks like it's fresh dig, and he's kind of hiding it under the vehicle. Okay, thank you. I'm just like, I don't know his reasoning for it, but it's just, I brought this up a year ago, and it's still happening. That's all I have.
Okay, I want to say thanks to, what's,
So is he, if you determine he is still digging,
okay. I want to thank Jim for, continuing to step up to the plate, and the communication's been fantastic, and it's much appreciated. A couple of quick things. The Grind mountain bike race at Giants Ridge was quite successful. Lots of good participants. I don't know what's short about a 19-mile short course, but hey, that's just me. The Pool and Sauna House ribbon cutting is on Monday, 9:15 at 1 p.m. I want to thank everyone that attended the MPCA hearing at the ITMEC Center. I want to thank Pat Holmstrom and Paula Mackey as the Music in the Park season comes to a close. I had some really great events there, and the last one was, for even a couple of raindrops, a very full event, so thanks for that. Administrator Wycombe and I met with the Gilbert PD on the contract. We sent a follow-up proposal back to Gilbert, and we will send out a update to the entire council when they respond. Hanktoberfest is September 26th and 27th. As Patty mentioned, the Festmeister's Ball is Friday night. Saturday, there's a free shuttle from 11 to 5 back and forth from Giants Ridge for the Mountaintop Beer Tour, as well as the events in the park, followed by the Brew Fest around town. That event continues to grow and is a lot of fun. Applications are still open for the Public Works position. Public Works negotiations for the contract are being scheduled currently. I do want to kind of give everybody a warning on the, as we talked about the budget a little bit during the agenda meeting, we're likely going to see a larger increase up on the preliminary and then have to work back. And it'll probably be a little more than usual this year just because of the transition we're in. But so people aren't sticker shocked. And I know the media likes to fluff that up a little bit, and none of it really matters until December. So, and I'm also happy to report that we got a report today from the IRRR on the $142,000 reimbursement. We got the notice of deposit. It hasn't come in the bank account yet, but we did get a notice for it. So, and that is all I have. We have nothing under old business, so we will move on to item 12A, new business resolution 2025-21, authorizing grant application to the IRRR Public Works Program.
Support.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution 2025-21. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, Shannon?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes, resolution is approved. Item 12B, resolution 2025-22, authorizing application for free technical assistance from and the ability to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the North Shore Development Company.
Support.
Has been moved and seconded to authorize resolution number 2025-22. Any discussion? Hearing none, Shannon, can I have a roll call?
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Resolution is 2025-22 is approved. Item 12C, approve memorandum of understanding with North Shore Development Company.
So moved.
Support.
We have a motion and second to approve the memorandum of understanding. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Mayor,
just so the council's aware, one of the things North Shore is going to ask us is to prioritize some locations for potential housing projects. And certainly this is a excellent opportunity to get some guidance and some assistance with the school properties, but there might be others. So as you think about potential locations for housing projects, if you would communicate them to me so that I can kind of build a little list of what they might be able to focus on. So I would appreciate that kind of feedback from the council, but the school properties are certainly pretty high on that list.
A while back, it was probably a year ago, I contacted St. Louis County, and they sent me a list of all the properties that the city of Biwabik owns. So maybe would you want to follow up on that? Maybe send that list to us? I don't,
If I can find it, I will share it.
okay, well, you can just call the county.
Okay.
And they'll,
Challenge.
I think I called the auditor probably,
Okay.
and they emailed me a list.
We'll do that. Thank you.
Okay. All in favor?
I
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 12D, consider a proposal from Christopher Enquist for maintaining Main Street plantings.
Since the discussion followed, can I make a motion to accept this?
support.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the proposal from Christopher Enquist on the maintaining of the Main Street plantings. Is there any discussion?
I do. I think that Mr. Enquist did a really good job of rewriting his proposal. It's actually more than what I expected, but I appreciate it. I thought he was very thorough. I want to say something about this gentleman. He's out there in the mornings from 5 to 7 picking up garbage or sweeping the sidewalks. That says a lot about a person. And he's not going to charge the city for doing that. That's something he's going to continue to do. Everybody has to learn, and so I have no problem if he has to learn a few things on the job. But the biggest thing I get out of it is that he wants to do it, and I think he's conscientious enough that he'll do a good job for the city.
Thank you.
Anybody? I have things to ask. Okay, I guess we did not get the illustration of where the plants he would take care of. Did he submit one to you?
I don't recall seeing one. I'll double check.
I believe he was going by the MnDOT layout that we originally got.
Okay, and I wasn't sure if it included,
That's-
just the ones that the volunteers had done this summer, or if it would be the ones on the highway there. Because you would have to probably close down a lane if you're going to be working there. That's why the volunteers didn't do it. It's, the traffic is just crazy.
Can I also add to her? I called him and he wasn't available. So I got on MnDOT and looked. Well, it's not that easy to find this program diagram for Biwabik. So that was a question that I had for him, and I was just going to wait. I have the old street projects, when they were developing it. So I figure that's good enough for right now.
I did have the map that showed the entire Main Street
Yeah, that's what I'm
project.
talking about.
And it was probably a 40-page document.
Yeah.
And I did give him a copy of that. And somewhere in this, I'd have to find it to utilize the installation diagram from MnDOT to create a highlighted map of areas that will provide services. So it is the same Main Street areas that are covered in the MnDOT plantings.
Okay. Okay, so then one of my questions, I know he has to get together with Larry and would have to come up with a contract, but I'm wondering who would monitor how he's doing? Would it be the personnel committee, or who would?
No, I don't think we want to establish any sort of employee relationship. I would say that would be a administrator task.
Okay, because like now, the personnel committee monitors Tracy, who's an independent contractor. Christopher would be
We
an
don't.
independent contractor.
Personnel committee never talks about the campground.
Oh, the campground liaison.
I
Oh, okay.
talked with hers,
So maybe we, either the city administrator or have a liaison with, something
Absolutely.
like that, I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
We can definitely set that at the reorganizational meeting.
Yeah, and then I don't think that we would need somebody to start May 1st. Sometimes we still have snow on May 1st. So I was like looking maybe more like May 15th to September 15th, kind of depending on the growing season. I don't remember if he had the end of September, if he had May 1st to October 1st maybe. It's through the end of October, which I don't think we would need somebody May 1st to the end of October, because usually once the frost hits, that's it, as far as plants go. I mean, you can,
Unless he's going to do some cleanup. My thing would be, you know, with the months, is that if there's some way we can leave that open, because if we have an early spring, okay, weeds are gonna take hold. I mean, they love anything, so they're gonna take hold. And as far as October, a lot of times, and I'll be frank, in our yard, we clean up in October. You know, I go through and clean up. Now, maybe October's a little late at the end of October, but maybe in the middle. But I think, talking to Mr. Inquist, I think he would be flexible and work with us on the months that he provides his service.
yeah, so that's, I mean, those were my only,
Right.
Comments on the contract. I mean, because I did talk with the people that volunteered to help this year, and I said, how do you feel about continuing this next year? And they said the city needs to hire someone. Yeah, you can't rely on us volunteers. I mean, we're all senior citizens, and so I was glad to see Christopher step up and give us this contract.
And I would say this is a proposal, and as it gets approved and we direct the attorney to write up a contract, we can have them do it in a sliding scale, that if there is still snow on the ground May 1st, that, or if it starts, we got snow flurries happening on October 1st, so one can only hope. But we can make a sliding scale on the end of it if that's the wishes.
So do you want me to make a motion, amend my motion to?
It's up to you, it's your motion.
Or maybe something contingent on the contract with the attorney or
That
something.
he meets with Larry on the contract.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we can just direct along with the approval.
So that he's not here tonight, but I want to thank him. And I also want to thank the people that volunteered. You drive through Biwabik and the streets, it just looks so nice. I mean, kudos to you all.
Yeah, lots of good compliments.
Yes.
Just, I don't know if the council is aware, well over 400 volunteer hours. And when you look at Chris's proposal, it's not at all on line.
Yeah, I did a little bit of research on his numbers, and it checked out pretty well, so. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 12E, approval, purchase of security cameras for Main Street and Campground Sliding Hill area.
So moved.
Support?
It's been moved and supported. Is there any discussion?
Yes, we've been talking about this for, I can't even tell you how long.
Since
3
I've lived
years.
in town?
So, I just want the budget committee to tell us where we're at with this. When you do your budgets, we got the money.
This is coming out of 2025.
25.
So there is
Okay,
money
so
in the
there is
budget.
money. Okay, so that's all because I ask budget about it all the time. So I just want to make that clear. So I have no problem with this at all, because we need to move on this. Our nice new bathhouse was vandalized this year. We had cameras up, and I don't think it would have happened.
Well, and if it did, we would know who
We
did
get 'em.
it.
We
Right.
get 'em.
So, is there any other discussion?
Who's in charge of moving the one from the campground to the sliding hill?
They're just clamp on, so our public works guys can grab the bucket truck and pop it up. And then they can have tie there to make sure the angle's right. And so, that was one of the good things about this system, is you can make it easily movable. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 12F, approve pay request number 1 for Fifth Avenue First Street project via St. Louis County.
So moved.
Support.
Been moved and seconded to approve the pay request. Is there any discussion?
Matt, have you looked this over? And everything's on the up and up?
Yes, it is, because the contract is run through the county on this project due to the funding, the city pays the county pays the contractor, and the city reimburses itself through the other grant that you got. So it's a little bit convoluted, but it's a process that was needed, so yes, it's all legit. This is your payment to the county.
Thank you.
Is this for the completed project then, or just for what's done right now, currently?
This is for, so what they do is they bill you for 90% of the grant amount or the project amount that they have, and then we'll square up at the end. Well, we'll owe them another 10%, or maybe it's 95%, and you'll pay the retainage 5%. I can't remember exactly, but we'll square up when the project's all over. But it's most of what you're going to owe them. It's all covered under grant money, so it'll wash out in the end.
So I was just curious, because it's like, the wear coat isn't done, or the striping and all that isn't done yet, but I was just
Right.
about that.
Yep.
Okay.
I do have a question because I haven't been at any of these meetings. Where the Bray House is, they used to park there, and now it's sidewalk. Do you have
I
any
think it's
idea?
actually concrete. I don't think it's all considered. I'd have to go look. I know what you're talking about. Pretty sure it's concrete, yes, but it's not all necessarily sidewalk. I think they put a driveway approach into there so they could continue to use that.
Okay, what if they use it and they are across the sidewalk?
That sounds like a tie deal. Yes.
Because when I look at it, it looks like there'll be like 2 or 3 like parallel parking spots, but if they park the other way, they're gonna be blocking the sidewalk. And somebody told me that is going to be used as the bike lane, the sidewalk on First.
No, the
No?
bike, if there's ever a bike lane through there, that gets into the rules about bikes on sidewalks versus, that sidewalk's not wide enough, first of all, to be a bike lane with a shared use, I guess I should say. I suspect if the bike trail ever does go through there, it'll actually be on the pavement of the road itself.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approve tree removal and wood chipping for cemetery.
I'll make the motion.
Support.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the tree removal and wood chipping for the cemetery request from Calgaro. Any discussion?
Just that I want everybody to notice that it comes out of the cemetery budget.
When are they looking to do it? Will they do it like
Well,
soon?
We're gonna do it this year.
Let's hope. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Approve the purchase of concrete bins for creation of establishing a compost pile.
Make a motion to accept.
I'll support.
Did we get any bids from anybody else? Or did anybody like check anywhere else?
There isn't any place else that
Yes.
sells them, so
Except is the
okay,
only one
like
It's the
this
only
isn't
one.
something you can get at Menards or anything like
they're
that?
3,600 pounds apiece.
Oh, okay.
So
Just,
Question on that compost pile, is that just for grass?
yes, grass and leaves.
Okay, all right, who's gonna pick up the plastic bags?
Well, we've already talked about it, John. If people abuse it, it's going to get shut down, just like the rest.
Well, just like at the recycle I went today,
Yep,
in the newspaper bin, plastic jokes,
yeah.
that's all they gotta do, that too.
so
Be there anymore.
somebody had discussed maybe putting a game cam by the compost pile. Is that something that we would consider?
I believe at some point we talked about adding another camera down there, and if the sliding hill camera proves to be futile, we could put it down at the, and if this camera proposal works out as well, there's nothing saying we couldn't put a double one at Public Works so we can secure that area. But, yeah, if it becomes a problem, there's gonna be a temporary camera installed down there, so.
Okay, well, that's good.
And then it's nice because like in Chris's proposal, he talked about a compost pile, so it could actually be used for the
Yes,
city.
Right.
so,
How big, Jim, or was this gonna be? You don't have any like dimensions on what Benji was thinking, or? I know there's 33 of them and they're 6 feet apiece, you know. Yeah, but I'm just talking like, what were they thinking for size-wise?
I know it's wide enough for the loader bucket.
Oh, Order bucket's 8 feet. Each one is 6 feet.
And they're gonna go a couple high and make 2 divisions, so you can have mulch in one bin and compost in the other bin.
Plus, we're gonna have 2.
2 bins.
Okay.
Yeah. I said, and I told him, I said, make sure you add, like, leave it so you can do an add-on, because in the future, if we decide to have a gravel bin, you know, once we have I mean, we're not gonna go put gravel down there and let people just have at her, so once we have some security down there, that might be an option, but, so don't close ourselves off from anything in the future.
So why is the gate never closed down there?
Those gates haven't worked since I've lived in town, so I don't know,
Do you have any idea what it would take to fix them?
time and money.
I mean, I just can't believe that's not secured down there.
I don't disagree with you. We're off topic, we're gonna approve this compost bin.
Well, I don't know, it protects the compost bin.
This is outside of the fence.
Is it outside the fence?
Oh, is it?
They're on
Oh.
the back side.
I thought it would be inside.
I did too.
Is there any more discussion?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
And I think the intent is for the signage to state that the compost is for citizens or residents of Biwabik. We're not, our intent is not to open up a compost bin for the East Range. Of course, that's hard to enforce, but at least the signage will state the intentions. And we can cross our fingers and see how it plays out.
And the signage does say no meat products, you know, like a normal, some people do compost meat and stuff. Ours, their signage will say none of that, so. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 12J, schedule council work session to discuss proposed emergency services building. Let's see. Matt, did you have any dates that you were preferable, or?
I was kind of waiting to see what you guys were gonna be looking at.
I'm just looking at, is 3:30 a good time for you, Brian?
Yes.
I don't know, I'm looking at here. How does the 23rd sound to everybody? I'd like to keep count.
Just a minute.
Yes. Well, I don't want to go on, I usually like to do Mondays, but Jim is off on Mondays, and I want to try to respect it as much as possible. So. Not for long either.
That would work for me.
23rd at 3:30? Does that work for you, Matt?
It does for me, I was just checking Brian's schedule quick. Could we possibly do it on the 25th, Thursday instead, or is that bad?
Boy, that date really rings a bell, like 25th again.
Let's, if the 23rd works for you guys, let's do the 23rd, and I'll let you know what that will work for me. I've got a much funner meeting I'm gonna be at. I say that with pure sarcasm.
Really, I couldn't tell. How was it?
Following Tuesday, the 30th.
I'll be gone.
That gets we're gonna tack on that preliminary levy too, and that's the day it has to be reported, so. How does the 24th sound? I'm just gonna jump a day ahead of time. I have dentist at 3:30, but
24th works for me.
I can't say I'd rather go to the dentist either. Can't get away with that lie.
24th is good.
24th? Matt, does that work?
Let's just go at it, it works for me. I'll see if Brian can make it work.
Sure.
At 3:30?
Does 3:30 sound good to everybody?
Yep.
24th, 3:30. All right. By general consent, I won't even do a motion on it, so. Item 12K, schedule fall citywide cleanup. The only week I would say, the 13th, Monday gets cut off because of Columbus Day / Indigenous Peoples Day. Pushing farther into October gets a little late, so I mean, I don't know, I would say the 6th to the 8th, and I didn't have a chance to talk with Public Works, but I know that with the new citywide cleanup guidelines, it was very efficient, and it did only take a 3-day. It did not take, you know, the normal 7 days that it used to.
So when were you suggesting?
The 6th to the 8th. I want to say they get into that same week as Columbus Day. I think they get into water shutoffs at the campground and that kind of stuff that week too, so it's probably better to get it done before that. 6th to the 8th, Monday through Wednesday. John, you can't have anything left for citywide cleanup. How does that sound to everybody?
That sounds fine.
All right, so by general consent, we will schedule that 6th to the 8th. Jim, will you do the proper postings, and I'll throw something on social media. Thank you. Item 12L, approve the hiring applicant for the firefighter position.
Make a motion to approve it.
Support.
I have a motion and a second to approve the hiring of the fire department applicant. Is there any discussion?
And where does this person live?
About 4 minutes south of town. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 12M, declare equipment as surplus. The old street sweeper, the white one, the orange one was just a parts one that was purchased and I believe is going to be hauled out for scrap. And the old tool cat that we took out of service. The one was just bought for parts and it's going for scrap. It's not worth anything. I don't even think they're going to give a scrap price for it.
So moved.
Yeah, take them both.
Patty, I'll support.
I got a motion and a second to declare surplus. Is there any discussion?
Will it be posted on the do bids, or how is it
I
going?
think it's the public surplus website, Shannon, isn't it? Min bid.
Okay.
So, excellent. Is there any more discussion?
Any minimum price?
Yeah, we have to decide that.
Say $500, start with.
Yeah, I'm okay with $500.
I would start, yeah.
Yep. Sounds good to me. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 13, there was no external communications. And item 14, open public forum. I would ask that anybody that has any comments to please go to the podium and turn the microphone on. Oh, boy.
I got a couple of things. One, that sign down there by the bike trail, the brush is still growing. That's been going on now all summer long. They had the city cut that.
Where?
Where that sign is, the overlook of the lake.
Oh,
Yeah.
there is a work order in for it, and I think they were they've been working on cutting some brush. I just talked to Benji the other day, and he said it was on their list. They're gonna get it.
Okay, the other thing is, now with all this truck traffic going through town, I noticed today at the Public Works, that other garage right there, where there were signs like in Aurora, that they have on the highway, safety, drive slow, they're down there sitting there. They should be put on the highway.
Honestly, John, I would say no, because when those trucks go through, they make this wind, and I think our signs will end up getting run over.
To Aurora, they're going down with concrete trucks, they're going through, the stop of Batumas is going steady through there. But these trucks going through now, they don't slow down, they just go. And now with the schools picking up these kids right here, right on Main Street, they gotta slow down, that's all I got.
Thanks, John. Any other public comment? Mary? Leave the mic on for Bob, if you would, please.
I just wanted to let the council know that on First Avenue, where there were the tall grasses that people were cutting down, they had no sight line. 16 of those grasses were dug out today and removed, and bushes were put in, like the bushes at the Biwabik sign at the entrance. They are low, they will not get more than 2 feet high. And all we're doing now is waiting for Public Works to put in the last of the mulch that is sitting in their backyard into that area. It's all set and ready for them. And so that is done. I know that you cannot make a, say what to do with this, but at the moment, I have 16 of those tall grasses, ornamental grasses. If you go to a landscaping business, they cost $30 a piece. I know you can do the math. I have no place in Biwabik that I can put them right now. I have gone, I've talked with the cemetery, Patty, or I've talked with Tracy at the campground. There's no place in town that they can go. I am willing to bring them to my house. I went to a horticulture class last week, learned about how to potentially save these without planting them in the ground over the winter. And I want to be sure that the city council and the city of Biwabik knows what is happening to these plants, so they don't think that these are just being confiscated by a person that lives in Biwabik. And if you have any suggestions for me, believe me, I will follow through with them.
If you've got no problem with it, I can't see anybody else having an issue.
I want to thank you.
Yes, thank you. Much appreciated.
Perfect. Yay. Somebody finally took that grass out of the middle of the road.
You're up, Bob.
I sat too long. Whew. I'm Bob Kirsch, former Biwabik resident and still am. Only I'm not in the shape I used to be. No, the fire department sign on top of the door outside where the trucks go in, the date on that is 1916, organized. It was organized in 1894. That's got to be changed. That's 22 years difference. And that's all you have to do is change the date on the sign. That should be done, you know. That's long time, 22 years.
Matt, can we incorporate that into the new design? Thank you.
I got the article.
We got to fact check Bob a little bit, but yeah.
I got a clipping with all the members' names from Biwabik Times, 1894.
Oh.
That my daughter put in the paper in 100-year ago articles.
Oh.
So anyhow, and your chief knows about it. Well,
He had to take off. Oh.
Yeah, well, they know. I told them a couple times. And that wheat brush she was talking about, I almost got killed there, coming out of the car wash, a little ways down. Because who in the hell ever put that wheat or whatever, what is that stuff, that high stuff? Huh? Ornamental grass, death trap. Yeah, I don't know who with a brain in their head would ever plant that high brush.
You have to talk to MnDOT.
Yeah. Who?
Oh.
That was close, boy, and I slammed my brakes on it because I'm so goddamn quick.
Sounds like we're getting close to taking care of that problem for you, Bob.
I know I heard it's getting started on now.
Yep. She was working on it today.
I know all about it. And it's still, all the rest of it, all the way down to the bottom of that same unit, you gotta get out of there, because you still can't see the cars coming in town. And then when you come out of the car wash, that's where I almost got killed, because you can't see there either. And I snuck across after 4 cars came out of town, and I drove across to the brush to turn back into town, and a couple cars came from Gilbert, and they quit coming, and then I stuck across there, and I peeked around the corner, around the brush piles. I couldn't see a thing, and I started to go out to come in town. Here comes a red car shooting in front of me like a bullet, way over the speed limit. And if I didn't slam the brakes on fast enough, I would have been coming back into town sideways. So, somebody's going to get killed there and by where you turned on 8th Avenue.
That's why it's getting taken care of.
8th Avenue too.
They're working their way down.
Yeah, and that stuff better get out of there before somebody's dead. And that's definitely going to happen. Let's see now. Oh, behind Giant's Pub, that building on the corner, what is that one? That building right behind the pub with that cement block sticking out in the middle of the alley.
Oh, CenturyLink.
What?
CenturyLink, the phone company.
Tell them to get that block out of there. Because somebody's going to trip over it again. They don't have any hand railings or anything. And I think it's too far sticking into the alley. What's the limit from the center of the alley to the edge of the eaves on a garage or any building?
We'd have to look at that one specifically.
I
don't know what the setback is on that one.
I think that cement block is about 3 feet or 2.5 or 3 feet too far anyhow. And it's illegal, and I always said somebody's going to trip over it. Well, my classmate did, Bob Larson, and he hit his head and elbow and everything else on the cement, and he got hurt bad. Well, he's dead now. Now, the good news. Let's see. At least it's finally getting out of there before a carload of kids with 3-4... There'd be 4 kids in the car, and a woman or a guy will pull out in front of a car and get dead. And that red car was going way over the speed limit. And it's a good thing I've always been fast. Ask Danny Berg. He's another quick one. I've been lucky, and I could have got killed 12 times at work. But I jumped out of the way in time and stuff because I'm so quick. And that's no BS. Anyhow, now the good news. I'm Biwabik's first skydiver. You didn't know that. 1936, I dove out a 2-story window above Giant's Pub someplace up that street onto the cement sidewalk. And I landed with my fist in my eye. I got a black eye and not a broken bone. I must have jumped too.
Thanks, Bob. Is there any other public input? No?
Hi, I'm Rachel Benda. I'm with the Ranger Snowmobile ATV Club. And I had dropped off a packet to be signed.
It's already signed, waiting for you.
Oh, all right. That is all then.
It was in the
Thank
consent
you.
agenda.
Oh, all right, thank you.
Yep. Any other public input? Hearing none, can I get a motion to adjourn? Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.